Hi, welcome to another Seiler instrument quick tip. I'm going to talk about using the distance offset feature in the Trimble Forensic Capture Software. You're out on a scene, you've collected all your information, and you find that one piece of evidence that you can't get. In this example, we've got a shoe that ends up behind a tree, so we cannot shoot it directly. We've only got that one piece of evidence, so moving our total station would take too much time, and it's just easier to do a distance offset. So what you do is you change your method from direct shot to distance offset and pull out a tape measure. You're going to take a shot next to the piece of evidence. I would get as close as possible where you can still get an accurate shot. Longer distance with the tape measure are going to introduce a little bit of error. So you're going to take a shot with the prism, and that's going to calculate our working position, and then you're just going to use a tape measure to measure over to the piece of evidence. One of the important things is that you're going to worry about a right angle. So the instrument, the evidence, and the prism is going to be at a right angle from the evidence to the instrument. So here's an example. Here's that tree from the top down. So we can't shoot that Converse shoe. So we're going to place the prism at 90 degrees from the shoe to the instrument. We're going to measure that working position, and then we're going to apply an offset to the location of the piece of evidence. When you do the measure offsets, there's 3 different offsets that you can apply. You can apply 1, 2, or all 3. The radial offset is basically in or out. So say we have a piece of evidence that falls in a fluid area. We're going to take a measurement on the prism, and then we're going to use a negative number to come in towards the instrument, and that will store the location. So a radial offset that's a negative number comes in towards the instrument from the prism. If you put in a positive number, it's going to go out away from the prism at that same exact line the instrument's pointing. The right offset is a little confusing because it's right or left. Think of the instrument as being a person, and he's looking at you. So left, so it's the instrument person's left would be a negative number, and the instrument person's right would be a positive number. So it'll go left or right of your current location on the prism. And last is the vertical offset. And think of the instrument gets shot at the prism location, assuming the ground is flat, over to the object location, and then you're going to put in a number for up is a positive, negative would be lower than the prism location. So again, as a recap, you're going to change your method to distance offset, and then you're going to hit the play button. It's going to ask you to actually measure the prism location, and then it's going to ask you those 3 offsets. Radial is in and out, right offset is left or right, and vertical offset is up and down. When you do fill out all that information, the screen pops up, and the orange dot on the screen shows you where you actually measured the prism, and the blue dot on the screen shows you new evidence position. You hit the check mark, and it stores it just like any other point. You can go back and review it, add attachments, add photos, use an evidence marker, just like you can any other point. So here's that example again. You're going to take a shot, set yourself up 90 degrees from the instrument to the object, and place the prism. In Capture, you're going to change the method to distance offset, and you're going to hit the measure. Takes a shot on the prism, you hit the check mark, and then it comes up and asks you for those offsets. Like I said, you can do 1 or all of them. So if you just, in this scenario, we would only have a right offset, and we would put in a -10, and it'll store the converse location. We hit the check mark, and our evidence is stored at this location. So now we can combine them, where you have the prism, an out, plus an over, right? So that would be a radial offset of 5 feet and a left or a negative number of 10 feet. And that would store that converse location. I forgot one last thing. Once you're finished using the distance offset feature, make sure you change the method back to direct shot so you don't confuse your next user, or when you're taking more shots, it'll keep asking you for offsets. Thanks for watching.